Welcome back to the Gateway Pod. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Jacob.
We're going to get into some softball and baseball stuff. So, starting with the softball team is on an 8-game win streak, and they're 6-0 to start conference play. They're just running over teams. It hasn't even really been that competitive. They started out, so they've played 2 conference series to start the year, and of the 6 games, 5 out of the 6 have ended early.
Mm-hmm.
Couple in the 5th inning, couple in the 6th inning, but it's been total domination. There hasn't really been a moment where I felt unsure of the team. They just played Kansas City. So they just had a series against North Dakota postponed because they were going to play to North Dakota, and apparently the weather's bad there. So, shocker on that one.
Yeah. I heard they're going to try to reschedule that for a midweek doubleheader, so
Okay.
they won't be playing 3 versus them.
But it'll be 2.
Yeah. So that
Okay.
they're still trying to find date and time for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they did have an off week last week.
Yeah, but the last series that they played was against Kansas City on March 27th through the 29th, and I mean, Kansas City didn't even score a run, and Omaha won 9-0, 8-0, 10-0. So, I mean, it's about as good as you can ask for. The 2 games ended in the 6th inning. The Saturday game ended in the 5th, so they made quick work of it. And yeah, like I said, they're kind of just running over teams right now. The lineup, basically from top to bottom, is hitting the cover of the ball. The top, top 7 hitters in the lineup are all hitting over 300. Sammy Schmidt's batting 400 right now. I mean, production's coming from everywhere in the lineup.
Yeah.
One really cool thing that happened in the Friday game was senior Emmett Durr, who hasn't played really a lot due to injuries for just 3 or 4 years. She hit 2 home runs, a 2-run home run and a 3-run home run that really just opened the scoring, made it 5-0 in the 4th. So you just love to see that. That was just cool to talk to her about it after the game and just be like, yeah, it's not something she normally gets to do. I was talking to Coach Hurd about it, and he was like, yeah, we've always just been looking for someone to really fill the DH spot on the team, and so she's been putting players in and out, kind of moving them around. So for Emma to go do that was really, really cool. That was awesome. And yeah, overall, like I said, the lineup's producing, pitching's been lights out. Since I got into conference play, Maddie probably has a sub-1 ERA. If I had to guess, she's not giving up runs. Just mowing players down, and her ERA's back down to a 2.84. So she's pitching great. They settled into a 3-pitcher rotation, but then Gracie Hornbuckle got hurt, so I don't really know. I'm not sure what her status is as far as when she's going to be able to come back. But right now they're just rocking with Groff and Wiggins from the circle. And it's been great. And then Haley Bolts got to pitch over the weekend. She's a freshman. She got that was her first action.
Yep.
And yeah, she was great. She let the first batter she faced, she walked her, but then got a double play and ended the inning. So she was nailed. She was really good. The moment was not too big for her, which was really awesome to see that. And yeah, I think they only let up one walk the entire weekend against Kansas City. So that's just unbelievably consistent.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've just been incredible. Sammy Schmidt in particular has been really good. She's batting 7th, and she's just providing so much from the bottom of the lineup. Her on-base percentage is .521. She has like I said before, she has a .400 batting average, and she's slugging .733. So she's been doing it all. And again, getting that production from the bottom of the lineup is really good because it just flips it over. Obviously, Rylan Groff is leading off, and she has a 496 on base percentage, so she's just getting on every possible way. Taylor Selichek, obviously, she started out a little slow, but she in the last game of the series against Kansas City, she had 2 home runs, and she's still hitting the ball great. She's batting 379, 534 on base, 874 slugging. They're just, again, it's coming from everybody too. It's not just them, but they are really, like I said, the top 7-8 batters in the lineup. When you're facing batter after batter of just
On
325, 325 averages, on base machines, everything like that, they're really just not even giving teams a chance. And they're scoring runs in bunches too. They're putting up a lot of crooked numbers. So they've just been doing. They've been doing it all, and it's been really fun to see it. So they have a big weekend coming up. So they're Omaha's first in the Summit League, and they're heading up to Minneapolis to face St. Thomas, who is second in the Summit League right now. So gonna be really, really big series if they take 2 of 3. That basically wraps up the Summit League for them, because the South Dakota series could be interesting, or the South Dakota State series could be interesting. But South Dakota's not very good, and North Dakota's not very good either. So a series win here, would basically wrap it up, barring anything out of the ordinary, which is kind of fun in that sense, where you can kind of wrap it up right now. But also, it's just a big series, and and obviously, St. Thomas is no slouch. They're not having nearly as much production from their lineup. They only have 4 players batting over 300, which for a normal roster is actually really good.
Yeah.
Ours is just kind of doing way more than that. It's just stacked. So that's going to be an interesting matchup, just to see how the lineup gets navigated. But their pitching has really, really been good this year. So their 2-way player, Ella Cook, she was unbelievable last year, so she's having another unbelievable season. She's got a 1.5 ERA. And then Maya Talges also has a sub-2 ERA. So they're getting a lot of pitching production. So it's going to be really interesting to see how our lineup reacts to that, because we really haven't faced that good of a pitcher, at least in Summit League play. So, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the pitching matchups. I would expect them, if it's an Ella Cook matchup and Maddie Groff, I would assume that it would be a low scoring.
Yeah.
And then even the same thing in the second game, even with the 2 second starting pitchers going, it's gonna be
Wiggins is shoving.
Yeah.
The number 2 is shoving.
Yeah. I would assume it's gonna be a very low scoring weekend. And then whoever makes that first mistake or gives up maybe a 2-3 run inning, that's gonna be the difference. So that's I'm looking forward to this series a lot. I kind of was looking forward to it at the beginning of the year. Just because it's gonna be one of those where this is decided in the Summer League. So should be very fun. I'm thinking hopefully the Mavs can take 2 or 3, really solidify that top spot, get a little distance between them. And just going forward through the rest of the year. So we'll see how it goes.
I got a sweep coming in St. Paul.
Yeah. I think it can be done because, the lineup is producing, but Coach Hurd talks about the fact that they win with their pitching and fielding. And so, especially, with Maddie on the ground, if you give her 2 runs of run support, that's all you need. So a 2-game. I'm keeping myself grounded. I think a 2 out of 3 is doable and probably the most likely one. But if it is a sweep, then that's
in all honesty,
fantastic.
Series win is probably the best bet. Just 2 out of 3, just because coming off the off week, which they don't usually get in conference play.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit.
You see, I assume St. Thomas played last week.
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, they played. Oh, wait, that was 2 weeks ago. Oh, so they were off. But they did play
Minnesota.
a midweek game against Minnesota, which they did win. So, I mean, they're good. Well, I mean, Minnesota's not that great, but they're still playing games at least.
Power 4 team.
Power 4, yeah. That's also true. You can't really... Power 4 is Power 4.
Yeah. So the off weekends for both teams might also factor into the low scoring based on the pedigree of the pitching staff. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But.
Yeah, I'm just looking for any common opponents. They played Boise State. They beat Boise State, but then we also beat Boise State a couple times. We didn't play Alabama, but we played Arkansas. But Alabama's still top 10. They lost both of those games. So basically the same boat as us, just as far as like they played some good teams, lost close, lost big a couple times. So yeah, it's definitely going to be an even matchup, and you're not going to be able to overlook them. They did drop a game to South Dakota 2 weeks ago, so that's something to note. Because again, South Dakota is third to last in the Summit League, and they're in the bottom half. So, I mean, they ended up taking the series, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
But just, something to note that they did lose to South Dakota. And then they did lose 2 games to Iowa before that, but that was back in late March. So, and we talked, it's Power 4 matchup, so that's just always going to be tough. So, we'll see what happens. But yeah, big weekend coming up for softball against St. Thomas. Let's talk about baseball. Let's talk about baseball.
First off, I want to give myself a pat on the back because I predicted the St. Thomas series to a T. Our most recent series is against St. Thomas, and they won 2 out of the 3 games. If you want to tune in to our website, youknowthegateway.com, I write a baseball breakdown every single week before every series, breaking down what just happened, what is going to happen, what I believe is going to happen next, and what I believe was going to happen actually happened. So they played a Saturday doubleheader. Again, Friday, the weather was pretty bad, so they moved that game to a Saturday doubleheader. I said they were going to split that, and lo and behold, they did. Little bit of a tale of 2 games, so to speak. Yeah. They run-rolled them in the first game behind some offense from Cardell Dick and some other guys, but then they get run-rolled the second game, but it was all for naught because they took the series on Sunday in the rubber match. I said they needed to limit the walks, and they did just that. St. Thomas is a very swing-heavy team, and they swing a lot out of the zone. So, verbatim, I said, the recipe for success for the Mavs will be attacking the St. Thomas lineup inside and outside of the strike zone. Sure, the Tommies have displayed some pop, but poor discipline is an area that the Mavericks can capitalize on. Maddox Meyer and Sam Beck are great at minimizing walks, which bodes well for this matchup. If things go as planned, Omaha will just need to come through with the timely hits to win the series or even the sweep. Maddox Meyer in the first game on Saturday, 7 innings. He gave up 6 hits, which isn't very ideal, but he limited the run of production, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 3 punch-outs. In the Sunday rubber match, Sam Beck, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. So between the two of them, they went 12 innings with 3 walks.
And that first Saturday game, the Mavs hit 2 home runs. When was the last time we had a 2 home run game in conference?
We did have one at home earlier.
Was there one? Okay.
It was that one, the extra inning win versus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Northern Colorado.
Yeah. There's just not a home run hitting team.
Yeah.
So, having 2 home runs,
Especially at I don't know what St. Thomas's Field is called, but they have a cavern out there.
Is it?
Guess how deep center field is?
420.
Way longer.
Is it actually? Oh, that's because it comes to a. It's like 460 something like that, isn't it?
465 to dead center.
Yeah, they're building a new ballpark.
Obviously, they didn't homer to dead center, but still.
Yeah, that's massive.
Like the foul lines, I think are 350.
Jeez.
Yeah, which is still pretty long. Usually, foul lines are like 325, 330-ish.
Yeah. I think that's what ours are, is 330, isn't it?
And our dead center's like 415.
410.
410, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I said, they commanded the strike zone. They forced swing and miss outside of the zone. I mean, that's exactly what you're looking for. So, yeah, and I also said it's hard to sweep on the road. So I will say the Mavs take 2 of 3 from the Tommies, splitting the Saturday doubleheader before winning the rubber match on Sunday afternoon.
Ball knowledge.
And that is quite literally what happened. So, yeah. Whenever I post stories on our website, you guys have to read them because that is exactly what's going to happen every single time. I'm never wrong on anything, so...
Never wrong, just early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this past weekend, their series against South Dakota State was canceled. The softball series against North Dakota was postponed, so they will play at least 2 games.
They're not going to play the South Dakota State?
They will not be playing at South Dakota State. They will host South Dakota State
I guess, that makes
in the
sense
final series of the regular season. That's May 14th through the 16th. So a little ways away for that. But, yeah. With baseball, they play a lot of midweek matchups. They got Kansas State coming up next week. They got Creighton at home. They have another matchup at K-State. So it's kind of hard to find that time to make up those games. So
yeah, it's fair.
Those are canceled. And they do have another 1-2 matchup in conference play coming up this week. They will play first place Oral Roberts, who is an undefeated 9-0 in conference. They're 18-12 overall. Omaha sitting at second at 6-3, with 2 conference series wins under their belt over North Dakota State and St. Thomas Tommies.
Is Oral Roberts a wagon again this year? Is that what I'm hearing?
I think they might be. But we will dive into their team. Their offense looks a little bit top-heavy. They got a couple guys batting around 290, 295-ish. One guy's topping at 330. That's Makani Tanaka. He was not on the team last year, to my knowledge, but...
Interesting. Because they made the CWS 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And not saying that that's, like, what they do, but it doesn't shock me that they're playing really good baseball again. So...
There isn't a baseball-heavy state. I mean, Oklahoma's pretty decent. OK State is pretty decent. They just actually beat OK State, I believe. The Cowboys, I do not want to pin that to them. But, yeah, they're obviously a wagon right now. They're 9-0.
They beat them 10-9.
Yes, like that's
Tuesday.
That is no. You should not.
They did lose to Oklahoma 2 weeks ago, but Oklahoma was 8th in the country, or was at the time at least. So, bit different.
They split versus Dallas Baptist, which I think they're decent.
Dallas Baptist is really good this year.
So they sweep SDSU at home, sweep St. Thomas at home. Their series at NDSU did get canceled as well.
I see. Was that supposed to be...
That was the same weekend, March 28th and 29th.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they did sweep Northern Colorado at home last weekend.
Once again.
So they have still yet to play on the road in summer league play, which I think that bodes well for
the Mavs.
Omaha.
Yeah.
But last year I think they were...
I still don't understand. I know it's not an ideal setup, but, like, we can't be having league games canceled because of bad weather. I feel like they just need to play indoors.
Or if anything...
Like the Fargo or something like that.
So say that the Omaha series versus South Dakota State last week, they moved that one to Omaha.
Yeah.
Play it, and then they moved the second series to Brookings.
Yeah, that would make sense. I don't understand why we're canceling games. I guess it's less bad in baseball because they play them twice, but like for softball, like we just cannot be canceling. And North Dakota wouldn't want to come here, like lose a home series and come here and play. So it's like that's why they're postponing it.
Yeah, I think that's the exact reason why they didn't play them, because there were talks about moving the series to
but they just did not. Because why would you want to do that?
Yeah, you have the home series. You're gonna want to play at home. You don't want to make that. How long is it?
Make a trip.
7 hours.
6.5 hours.
Yeah.
So there was no way they were gonna do it. But still, just play indoors. Figure it out. What are we doing? Like, again, UNI does it, and yeah, it's pretty terrible to look at and everything like that. But at least it's an indoor series. I feel they could do something at the Alaris Center in Grand Forks. They could do something at the Fargo Dome. Figure it out.
Yeah.
But
again, with Oral Roberts, they're like a better St. Thomas from what I'm looking at. Strike out a lot. Even this Makani Tanaka fella.
Yeah.
29 strikeouts to 8 walks. 29 strikeouts to 15 walks. But
he's from Hawaii.
They are better at getting on base. I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at the wrong place. They are better at getting on base. If you have like a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, that's pretty decent for college.
That's really good for college.
And a lot of their guys own that. Cooper Combs has 29 strikeouts to 17 walks. Cooper Kelly 24 to 17. Tyler Broderick has 14 and 14. He's the same number of walks as strikeouts.
I feel like that's pretty average. Like that's not it's not ideal necessarily, but I feel like it's not terrible. Yeah. It's only bad when you have more strikeouts than walks. But
still, as long as you're getting on base, and these guys,
if you're getting on base at a good,
if you're getting on base over like a 350, 350 clip,
it doesn't really matter. You strike out all you want, but if you still find ways to get on base.
And among their qualified hitters, they only have 7 qualified hitters.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. They've been moving guys around a lot.
But 5 out of those 7 do have an above average on-base percentage. And, yeah. The home run bowl kind of eludes them as well. They're kind of like Omaha, but they do have more home runs than Omaha.
Yeah, well, most teams have more home runs than Omaha.
Omaha only has 13 on the season. The Golden Eagles have 19.
Which, that's I'd say that's probably a pretty significant difference. Yeah. Especially this early in the year. Because it's still only, I can't remember who I was talking to about it, but I was like, it's still April. Rankings don't matter right now. And, it is still so early in the baseball season, which is crazy. They've literally been playing for 2 months.
Yeah.
To still be it's early. But, yeah, it's interesting. That's going to be a fun series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think the Mavs are playing a lot better this year than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
I guess they're sitting in second place. That's, where they should be. I'm just excited that they're actually playing to their potential.
They're playing with some conviction. They're actually...
Yeah, they're actually, they're closing out the close games that they have been into, which is really good. To come back, to run rule St. Thomas, then to get run ruled, but then to come back the next day and play as good as they did is, that's something that you wouldn't have necessarily seen in the past, but they're doing it now, which is really fun, actually. Mm-hmm. So, I'm super excited about baseball this year. Maybe an NCAA tournament appearance?
You said it, not me.
Hey, look, the road to Omaha goes through the Mavs. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
Does it?
No, but it could.
It will next year. When we win the conference this year.
Yeah, facts. You're right. You're so right.
Yeah. As far as their pitching staff goes, the Golden Eagles pitching staff, Easton Teal is obviously their ace. He sports a 2.48 ERA, 1.05 WHIP, in 40 innings. He's been their Friday starter. Connor Johnson and Nathan Love. We saw Love a little bit last year. I think Johnson's new, but they have been there 1, 2, 3 in the rotation. So expect to see those guys on the bump. Teal's probably the front runner right now for Conference Pitcher of the Year. If I were to pick, I would probably pick him. 7 starts and he has 40 innings. Like, he's averaging at least 6 innings per start.
Pretty quality.
So,
quality starts.
Yeah. And he's only given up 11 earned runs in the 7 starts total. 34 strikeouts, 9 walks. Limited home runs, he's only given up 4. Yeah. 223 batting average against. I mean, I don't know what you don't like from Teal.
He's giving you everything, especially like when you're a starter going consistently. When you're getting that 6-inning threshold, it's like, yeah, you can't really ask for more. But then he's also, he's got that sub-3 ERA. He's like basically keeping them in games and winning them games just solely off of his pitching alone.
Yeah.
But then, or he would be doing that, but then they're also getting offensive production.
Yeah.
So they're kind of getting the best of both worlds on those Friday nights.
Teal's ERA is actually down to 0.87 in conference play.
Perfect.
Through 3 conference starts. That's the same with the rest of the rotation. Johnson's ERA goes down from 4.22. Actually, it's basically the same, 4.26 in conference play. But Nathan Love's has dropped from 4.36 to a 2.93 through 3 conference outings so far. In 15 1/3 innings pitched, he's given up 5 earned runs. Teal has given up just 2 earned runs. He's only allowed 10 hits in 20 innings. 17 strikeouts to 3 walks.
3 walks.
3 strikeouts or 3 walks in 20 innings.
That's how you win games. There's no free bases.
Yeah.
So that's probably, looking at that statistic, that's probably what the coaching staff is happiest about.
Yeah.
Like, you can do all this of like your whip can be low, everything like that, but if you're just not giving up walks,
the free passes is what's going to hurt you.
Is what kills you.
So the fact he's able to limit the walks and he's able to limit the hits. He only has 10 hits given up in 20 innings.
I mean, that's
good for a 0.64 whip. And that is walks and hits per innings pitched. So if you're giving up like what this is saying is you're giving up 1 runner per 2 innings, 1 base runner for every 2 innings you pitch. Excuse me.
Yeah, that'll
play.
That's definitely gonna play. That'll definitely play. Yeah. Yeah, so that Friday night matchup. So it'll be what, Maddox Meyer versus Easton Teal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really good matchup.
Yeah.
Like, just overall, I think that'll be a really fun. Could be just a really fun game to watch.
Yeah.
So
make sure
you make it down to Tyler Anderson Field this weekend. Make sure you make it down for that. Yeah.
They're pretty similar pitchers. I mean, Meyer's a 3.12 ERA, which is obviously higher.
Yeah.
But again, with the strikeout to walk ratio, he has 13 strikeouts to 2 walks in conference play.
Yeah.
They're both through 3 starts this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, he's just kind of gotten. Maddox has just kind of gotten hit around. In the Northern College, he's just kind of just given up like solid like 2.22.
Yeah.
In conference.
As far as earned runs go, he's given up 10 runs total.
Yeah.
But only 6 of them have been earned. So his defense isn't helping him.
Definitely not.
But in that St. Thomas series, their defense was a little better than they were against Northern Colorado. That was kind of that was kind of rock bottom.
I was sitting next to Dell, at softball, but the same weekend of the Northern Colorado series, and he was just talking. He's like, "Yeah, I think I saw more errors last night against Northern Colorado than I ever want to see for the rest of my life." And I'm like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
They almost had more errors than they had hits in the Friday night game.
Not an ideal
situation.
Yeah. but they've controlled the errors. They haven't had any nights like that since, which is good. Sometimes you need to let that night happen to fix it in your focus.
Better now than in the conference tournament.
Better in the first weekend against Northern Colorado than in May when you're fighting for NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I know that's contrary to popular belief, but
yeah, that's hot take. Yeah. I prefer my errors to come in March, not in May.
I prefer them to come earlier in the season rather than later.
Yeah.
I know, sue me, guys, but
this guy's a baseball coach. That's an unbelievable statement.
You know it.
Yeah.
But they'll keep staying hot. Zepay is hot. Hayden Lewis is hot. Jackson Trout is very hot right now. I think he's still top 10. Probably not anymore because they were off last week, but he was top 10 in the nation in doubles up until last weekend.
Who's that?
Jackson Trout.
Yeah, he's been tearing the cover off the ball. Yeah. Batting .333 in conference. That'll get you going.
That'll play.
That will play.
That'll play. Tyler Bishop's doing good. Cardell Dick is slugging.
Henry Zepay is just doing what he does and getting on base. .571 on base percentage in summer league play.
Who's better than conference play Henry Zepay? Is there anything better?
Not as far as baseball goes. If we're talking baseball and softball, then like basically the entirety of the softball team.
But now, what's better than a home and home softball baseball? Matty Groff 2-hit shutout in 6 innings, and then you go across the concourse and you see Henry Zepay go 3 for 4 with 2 doubles.
There's nothing that tops that. That's a good couple hours right there.
And then you get 6 quality innings with 2-run bull for Max Meyer. Yeah. I mean, like what's being
that might have been the best couple games from softball to baseball, going on at the same time. Yeah. Like that might be the best possible outcome. Obviously, like they won, so it's like that's good. But then like the quality of players, moments in there too that's can't get much better than that.
Can't beat it.
No.
Can't beat it. So prediction-wise, based on the fact they're at home, I will say the Mavericks take 2 of 3. I think the Friday start, tomorrow's start will dictate the series. If Oral Roberts can take that, I do think they'll take 2 of 3. But if the Mavericks can squeak out a win versus Easton Teal, and if Max Meyer can give them 6 or 7 quality innings on the bump, I would say that the Mavericks can definitely win 1 of 2 games on the weekend.
Yeah, I think the Friday game hinges everything because if Omaha wins Friday night, then I think they're gonna take the series. Just because you beat the best pitcher, you get that first win. There's a lot of pressure on Oral Roberts to then come out and at least try and irk out a win on Saturday. But I think if that obviously that completely flips if Omaha loses that first game.
Yeah.
So, Friday night's gonna be big. Night game. How's the weather looking? Is it gonna be
a lot of rain?
Nice? Is it gonna be a lot of rain?
A lot of rain, according to my Apple weather
that
app.
Sucks. I just want it to be nice out. I just need good baseball weather. Like, there's not near... Like, I want to go to baseball games, but, like, if it's going to be cold and rainy, then, like, what's the point? And I know that's, like, terrible because I'm a baseball sicko, but, like, I do enjoy nice weather, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I would enjoy more rain.
No.
I would enjoy sitting in the rain all day.
No, if I'm going to sit through a baseball game, I would at least like it to be, like, above 60 and not pouring rain. But I guess I'm just different.
That's just like the rarest take ever.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know who else has that.
Yeah, I prefer good weather for my outdoor games. Actually, not true.
Good weather over bad weather.
Not true. I love me a football game where it's like the worst weather possible. That's great.
Like where they just can't throw the ball. They just have
to run. That's beautiful.
They just have to give 50 carries to their running back.
Beautiful. What the heck is a forward pass? Don't need it.
Or they incorporate the fullback.
Yeah, bring it back.
Sean Payton offense loves the fullback.
But for baseball, it needs to be nice. Yeah. But outdoor, get out of here with this. I know I did just talk about playing indoors so we don't have to cancel games. But
we like the outdoors.
The outdoors better.
Yeah. When it's not raining.
When it's not raining. Yeah.
Softball sweep is coming this weekend.
Softball sweep is gonna happen.
It's inevitable, and then baseball, 2 of 3 series win over first place Oral Roberts. They would still be in second, technically. If they win 2 of 3, they would be 8-4.
When's the next
Oral Roberts would be 10-2.
9th and 10th. So basically a month from now.
Yeah.
This is the next Oral Roberts matchup.
Yeah, winning this series will set them up pretty nicely down the stretch. Yeah. Especially if you can take one game in that away series in early May. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. It'll be interesting.
But yeah, show up to Tyler Anderson.
Yeah.
Gonna be a really good weekend. It's shaping up to be a good weekend at least. And yeah, I think that's all we got.
Yep. Stay tuned for future episodes from us.
Keep up with youandthegateway.com for full stories, softball, baseball, everything in between.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
Later.